Before he died, Mary Tyler Moore names the 5 actors she hated the most. Mary Tyler Moore was born on December 29, 1936, in Brooklyn, New York. She grew up in a typical middle-class family before her parents relocated to Los Angeles when she was 8 years old. The move to California would prove fateful, as it placed her near the heart of the entertainment industry, where she would later leave an indelible mark. As a child, Mary was shy but artistic, drawn to dance and performance. Her early dream was to become a dancer, and she pursued ballet training with great passion. Her first brush with fame came not through acting, but in television commercials, most famously as the dancing elf Happy Hot Point in 1950s appliance ads. This whimsical role introduced her to the medium that would eventually make her a household name. Mary Tyler Moore's breakthrough came in 1961 when she was cast as Laura Petrie, the spirited wife of Dick Van Dyke on The Dick Van Dyke Show. The series, which ran from 1961 to 1966, showcased her comedic brilliance, expressive face, and impeccable timing. Her portrayal of Laura was revolutionary for its time. Unlike many TV wives of the early 1960s, Moore's character was independent, funny, intelligent, and not afraid to challenge her husband's ideas. Her decision to wear capri pants on screen, a small but significant fashion choice, helped redefine the image of modern American womanhood on television. The chemistry between Moore and Van Dyke was electric, and audiences quickly fell in love with their believable, affectionate partnership. For her work on the show, Moore won 2 Emmy Awards, and it launched her into stardom as one of the most versatile and appealing actresses on television. After The Dick Van Dyke Show, many expected Moore's career to slow down, but she defied all predictions. In 1970, she returned to television in a role that would forever change the landscape of American sitcoms. Mary Richards on The Mary Tyler Moore Show. As the single, career-driven producer of a Minneapolis TV news station, Mary Richards represented a new kind of woman for the small screen, independent, confident, and focused on her career rather than marriage. The show was a revelation, blending humor with thoughtful social commentary about feminism, workplace equality, and personal growth. Its iconic opening sequence, featuring Moore tossing her beret into the air, became a symbol of female empowerment and optimism. The series not only cemented her legacy, but also inspired generations of women to pursue their ambitions without apology. Moore earned 4 additional Emmy Awards for the show, and it remains one of the most acclaimed sitcoms in television history. Beyond her television success, Mary Tyler Moore also made significant strides in film and theater. She earned an Academy Award nomination for her stunning performance as the emotionally distant mother in Ordinary People, 1980, directed by Robert Redford. This dramatic turn surprised audiences who had known her primarily for comedy, revealing the depth and range of her talent. Moore also appeared in other films, including Thoroughly Modern Millie, 1967, and Change of Habit, 1969, in which she starred opposite Elvis Presley. On Broadway, she showcased her versatility in productions such as Whose Life Is It Anyway? And The Gin Game. Through all these roles, she demonstrated a rare ability to blend humor, pathos, and vulnerability in ways that resonated deeply with audiences. Outside of her acting career, Mary Tyler Moore became a tireless activist for animal rights and diabetes research. Diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in her early 30s, she used her platform to raise awareness about the disease and served as the international chairperson for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation for decades. Her openness about her struggles helped destigmatize chronic illness and inspired millions facing similar challenges. She was also a passionate advocate for animals, speaking out against cruelty and supporting humane causes. Her generosity and compassion extended far beyond the stage and screen, leaving a legacy of kindness and social responsibility. Mary Tyler Moore's personal life was as compelling as her remarkable career, and her marriages reflected the many stages of her growth as both a woman and a performer. She married 3 times, and each relationship played a distinct role in shaping her emotional life, her professional choices, and even the way the public perceived her off-screen. Her first marriage was to Richard Meeker, whom she wed in 1955, when she was just 18 years old and still dreaming of a breakthrough in the entertainment industry. Meeker was considerably older and worked outside the world of show business, offering a sense of stability that Mary craved during her uncertain early years in Hollywood. The couple welcomed a son, Richard Meeker Jr., in 1956, and Mary often spoke of how becoming a mother so young was both joyful and overwhelming. However, as her career began to take off in the late 1950s and early 1960s, with her earliest television appearances leading to her role as Laura Petrie on The Dick Van Dyke Show, the pressures of fame, motherhood, and personal ambition strained the marriage. The couple eventually divorced in 1962, though they remained on good terms. Tragically, years later, Mary would suffer a devastating loss when her son Richard died in 1980 from an accidental gunshot wound at just 24 years old, an event that left a permanent mark on her life and deepened her empathy for others struggling with grief. That same year, she divorced Richard Meeker. Mary married Grant Tinker, a television executive whose influence would help shape some of the most significant creative decisions in her career. Married in 1962, their relationship was both a romantic and professional partnership. Tinker deeply admired Mary's talent and intellect, and together they built MTM Enterprises, the production company responsible for The Mary Tyler Moore Show, one of the most groundbreaking sitcoms in television history. The show's success turned Moore into a feminist icon, representing independence and self-determination for a new generation of women. Tinker's business acumen and Mary's artistic instincts made them one of Hollywood's power couples throughout the 1970s. Yet behind the public image of harmony, their marriage began to erode under the pressures of fame, work, and Moore's personal struggles with alcoholism and diabetes. By 1981, the marriage ended in divorce, though both would later express respect and fondness for one another. Tinker went on to become chairman of NBC, while Mary continued to expand her acting repertoire, taking on more serious dramatic roles that earned her critical acclaim. After several years of focusing on her health, career, and personal recovery, Mary found love again with Dr. Robert Levine, a cardiologist 16 years her junior. They met in 1982 when Levine treated Mary's mother, and their connection quickly grew into a deep, nurturing relationship based on mutual care and understanding. The two married in 1983, and this third marriage proved to be her most enduring and stabilizing. Levine's medical background helped Mary manage her long battle with type 1 diabetes, and he became not only her husband, but also her steadfast caregiver and confidant. The couple built a peaceful life together, dividing their time between New York and Connecticut, away from the glare of Hollywood. Unlike her previous relationships, Mary's marriage to Levine was marked by emotional steadiness, shared compassion, and lasting devotion. They remained married until her passing in 2017, a testament to the love and loyalty that carried her through her final decades. Throughout her long and celebrated career, Mary Tyler Moore became one of America's most beloved television icons, known for her elegance, intelligence, and groundbreaking performances. From The Dick Van Dyke Show to The Mary Tyler Moore Show, she projected an image of warmth and professionalism that made her a household name. Yet, behind the camera, the entertainment industry was not always as kind or collegial as it seemed. In her later years, Moore reportedly opened up about her true feelings toward a few of her colleagues, specifically 5 actors with whom she had particularly negative experiences. According to Glenn Corbett, a close friend and confidant during her later years, Mary was honest to a fault. She didn't believe in pretending that everyone she worked with was a joy. These revelations offered a rare glimpse into the private frustrations of a woman who was otherwise known for her grace and composure. The first name on Mary Tyler Moore's list was Rose Marie, her co-star on The Dick Van Dyke Show. While audiences adored their on-screen chemistry, the reality was far more strained. Rose Marie, a veteran performer with a quick wit and fiery personality, often clashed with Moore over attention and recognition. Moore, being younger and newer to television, felt that Rose Marie sometimes treated her as an interloper. Corbett recalled, "Mary told me that Rose Marie never missed a chance to remind everyone who had been in show business longer." Although they maintained a professional relationship, Moore admitted she found the atmosphere tense and competitive, particularly in the show's early seasons. Over time, their working dynamic improved slightly, but the frost never completely melted. The second actor Moore mentioned was James Garner, with whom she worked briefly in a television project that never fully took off. Garner was widely admired for his easygoing charm and rugged good looks, but Moore found him dismissive and difficult to connect with. Mary said she admired his talent but thought he was too cynical, Corbett shared. She didn't like how he made cutting jokes about the industry and the people in it. Moore, who took her craft seriously, believed Garner's casual approach bordered on disrespect for the profession. Their styles were incompatible. She was precise, perfectionistic, and detail-oriented, while he was relaxed and spontaneous. The clash of temperaments left a sour impression that lingered for years. Another name that came up was Ted Knight, her co-star on The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Knight's portrayal of the pompous but lovable Ted Baxter earned him both fame and critical praise, but off-camera, things were less harmonious. "Mary once told me that Ted could be incredibly moody," said Corbett. "He took criticism very personally, and she often had to walk on eggshells around him." Their working relationship was marked by frequent disagreements over script delivery and character interpretation. Although they respected each other's talent, Moore confided that she often felt exhausted after days spent mediating Knight's insecurities. Nevertheless, her professionalism never wavered, and audiences never suspected the underlying tension between the two stars. The fourth person Moore allegedly struggled with was Richard Chamberlain, with whom she co-starred early in her career in a made-for-TV drama. While Chamberlain was known for his charm and poise, Moore found him overly self-absorbed and dismissive toward female co-stars. "Mary told me she couldn't stand how Richard made everything about him," Corbett said. "If she had an idea for a scene, he'd brush it off like it wasn't worth his time." For a woman trying to assert herself in an era when female leads were often underappreciated, such experiences left a lasting sting. Moore believed that Chamberlain represented a type of male arrogance that was all too common in Hollywood during the 1960s and 1970s. The final name Moore mentioned was Dick Van Dyke himself, though not out of malice but frustration. While she loved and respected Van Dyke as a performer, their partnership wasn't always as smooth as viewers believed. "Mary told me she adored Dick, but they didn't always see eye to eye," Corbett revealed. "He could be charming one moment and completely aloof the next." Van Dyke's struggles with alcohol during the 1960s sometimes created uncomfortable working conditions. Moore, who was deeply professional, found it difficult to cope when her co-star was unreliable or distracted. Despite these challenges, she never allowed personal feelings to overshadow their creative chemistry. Over time, the tension faded into mutual affection, and Van Dyke later spoke of her with profound admiration. Glenn Corbett, reflecting on these conversations, emphasized that Moore's criticisms were not fueled by bitterness, but by honesty. "Mary wasn't a hateful person," he said. "She was just someone who valued respect, discipline, and authenticity. When she didn't see that in others, it bothered her." Indeed, her reflections revealed less about animosity and more about the pressures faced by a pioneering woman in Hollywood. Behind the smiles and laughter, Mary Tyler Moore endured the same professional rivalries and personal disappointments as anyone striving for excellence. And in her candid confessions, she offered a rare window into the human side of fame, where even the most admired figures have private battles, quiet resentments, and truths that only emerge when the spotlight fades. Mary Tyler Moore passed away on January 25, 2017, at the age of 80, in Greenwich, Connecticut. Her death marked the end of an era, but her spirit lives on through the laughter, courage, and inspiration she gave to millions. She was more than just a television star. She was a pioneer who redefined the possibilities for women in entertainment and beyond. Her legacy continues to shine in every story that celebrates independence, intelligence, and hope.